Hello and welcome back to the Honor Respect and to another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10. And yeah, it's a big show today because it is the last episode of AEW Dynamite before Full Gear. And yeah, we've got a lot on this card, including a big multi-man main event. We hear from MJF, a big match to start us off, which was the Blackpool Combat Club, Moxley and Yuta versus Cassidy and Hooks. Let's get straight into that. And yeah, they wasted little time in sending a message to the former world champion in Yuta. A competitive matchup that concluded with Cassidy and Moxley brawling at ringside, while Yuta trapped Hook in a seatbelt pin and scored a win. Afterwards, Moxley suggested Cassidy is shaken and that he will win the championship on Saturday night. The finish was smart and it preserved Cassidy and Moxley while highlighting the intensifying rivalry between them two. It also put Yuta over as a definite challenger to the FTW champion, presumably as soon as Saturday night if Tony Khan sees fit. So yeah, on the whole, a really good multi-dimensional way to kick off the show. Hangman Page then had a face-to-face promo with Swerve Strickland ahead of their final Texas Death Match, and we'd not seen a fired-up, vengeful former world champion and drive Swerve for a week ago. Here it was a verbal barrage from Page with no retort by the heel, just a beat down by Page on Prince Nana. It was a segment in which Page looked and sounded like an impassioned Hangman that fans initially fell in love with, but failed to build with any additional hype that was effectively built in praise. Strictly in having one last opportunity to hammer home his point, and Page on a blast would have elevated this exponentially and gone a long way ensuring their match as probably the most anticipated match on the Full Gear card. But yeah, still very much looking forward to it. This is a fire promo by Hangman, and yeah, the way they all did it I thought was pretty decent too. Before it was time for Red Velvet versus Sky Blue, Sky Blue cashed her ticket to Full Gear and a shot at the TBS title with a win here. Hard fought match, and the action between Velvet and Velvet was strong. It featured some quality near falls and the right competitor went over. Blue spent weeks in a rivalry with Hart and Marsden and distrust, so it threatened her friendship with Statlander. She's improved exponentially as a wrestler and has earned the opportunity to show off on the Full Gear stage. The question was also realistic as to whether she has a chance to become the TBS champion, or is she merely the woman to take the pin? Who knows, but it's an interesting question. Obviously I've got that coming in my predictions video, so check that out when it's released, probably just before the show itself. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one. I can't say her winning personally, but you know, it sets her up nicely for a big occasion. But moving on into Samoa Joe, who squashed John Cruz, and yeah, it basically went how you would pretty much anticipate. Joe squashed his opponent, tapping him out to the Coquina clutch. After the match, Joe again offered to be MJF's tag partner at Full Gear against the Guns, warning that one way or another he is inevitable. This is fine enough, but not all necessary. It could have been a backstage vignette, an email or anything else. It ate some time and created intrigue as to whether MJF would take Joe up on that offer, and yeah, it'll be very intriguing at this rate to see if he does. I'm still not in favour of him dropping the title last week, but you know, let's all see where it goes. For this, it wasn't bad at all. 6 out of 10. Before it's time for the Young Bucks versus Commander and Penta, and yeah, the Young Bulls continued their journey down the Hilldom, defeating them by nefarious means and earning cheers from their hometown fans. This match was non-stop action during the tired "This is awesome" chant, despite there being little in the way of any match narrative and a total lack of selling. Despite its shortcomings, the match accomplished what it intended to, with the Bucks firmly establishing themselves as villains by way of a pair of lowdowns and mocking Judas Effect and a BTE trigger to Commander for the win. Heel Bucks are the best Bucks, and given how things are at the moment with the audience anyway, it was probably a wise creative move. What it means for Full Gear in their match with Jericho and Omega is the question that will hover over the match on Saturday night. But yeah, it gets 7 out of 10 for me. I thought a really decent match. Young Bucks obviously getting the win, and like I say, I like the way they're going. But moving on into the Guns, and ahead of the buy-in where they will challenge MJF for the RH tag titles, the Guns hit the ring with Peter Rebel and an unnamed partner. It was short in order with the 310 to Uma, then cut a brief forgettable promo on their upcoming opponent. This served no purpose to remind us that the Guns will be on the show. It accomplished nothing, advanced nothing, and did nothing to make anyone want to see the match more than they do or do not in the first place, to be honest. So yeah, kind of just eating up some time. You know, good to know the Guns are still around, and yeah, the match will be quite intriguing. Before it's time for the Like a Dragon street fight, and the rivalry between Jericho and Omega and Don Callis family continued with this match, and a wild and chaotic match ensued with bodies battered and blooded, leading to a finish that saw Omega and Jericho duct tape Hobbs to the ropes before the former delivered a one-winged angel for Cage for the win. This was not the rightest thing first, but it should not discount the efforts of the competitors and the fans who weighed it all out. This match was what it delivered and what it promised, but did question did beg the question, what's next for Don Callis family? It was another big loss in a week that Jericho defeated Takeshita in DDT. What credibility does this faction have anymore will be the question. But for me, I really enjoyed this street fight. I thought, yeah, maybe we would have had a different winner, but we'll see what happens on Saturday maybe. But yeah, just a chaotic fun match, and that's exactly what I love. 8 out of 10. Before a fired up MJF made his way to the ring and immediately apologised to Clay Ned and Cole for getting them caught in the crosshairs of the MJF experience. Impassioned, he talks about Full Gear and defeating Jay White to retain his world title. Switchblade interrupted, insisted MJF was the devil, and Clay did champ was no hero. After vowing to beat him at Full Gear, White sized the guns and Juice Robinson on him, then laid him out with a Blade Runner before standing into with his Bullet Club Gold teammates to close the show. An inoffensive close to the show, rather than nothing to advance anything. Rather, it re-established the issues between the two and built the heels for their cowardly 4-on-1 beatdowns of the champion. So yeah, I thought that was good. Basically, the last build, did it do anything major to push the story along? No, but should it do it that they say? So I don't think it should either. But overall, AEW Dynamite gets a 7 out of 10 for me. A really, really good show. For me, Dynamite. Yeah, I thought, was it one that's going to live long in the memory? But no, probably not. But I don't think the go home show always needs to be. You've done most of our build before, and I think, yeah, it's been pretty decent on the whole. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks so much for watching. Share, subscribe, and for daily wrestling news and subscribe to the channel. It's going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.